Hello everyone and welcome back to Stationeers. Well, I don't think I will be able to contain myself and I will very likely spoil the surprise in the thumbnails. And yes, that means that we have a new mod in the game. But before we get to that, we have a bit of mining to do because we are running really low on copper and gold. And I believe to use this mod we will need some copper and some gold. So let's just go out now, and the suit is okay. Yeah, go out now before it is, the storm gets here. So let's quickly take care of this, make some copper, make some gold, and we will be back before the storm gets here. Okay, so smelting is finished. I think, yeah, we are done with that for now. What is the composition of gases in here? It is... okay, it is burning of the oxygen and the storm is here. So this is the new storm graphics now. As you can see, I think the clouds look a lot better now and they are a lot more dense as well. Anyways, let me take a quick look. Okay, so we have burned off the rest of the oxygen. I think we can start venting out. There we go. And yeah, this storm looks a lot better now. It no longer bleeds through the windows. So yeah, it will look even better from the inside. But I kind of wish that the clouds were moving a bit faster than this. So if we stand still, as you can see, the clouds, I think they are a little bit slow. I did make a post about this on Reddit, and I can only hope that eventually the speed of the clouds will be increased. But you know what? It's okay, it's working. Anyways, here. I think we can stop venting out now. You can turn off and we can go inside. Okay, so we have the resources that we need. Let me quickly, yeah, we need to eat and drink real quick. Do we have any potatoes? No, we don't. Okay, we need to harvest. So let's pick up the seeds and then the 2 potatoes and replant the seeds. There we go. From now on, I only want to keep 1 stack of these potatoes, no more. Also, we have the display working. We have this one. Yeah, this one is working as well. And we should be able to turn off the tablet is now turn offable, so that's good. So let me quickly cook this one. I will drink and then we will eat, and then we will get into this new mod that I've talked about. Basically, this is a modular console mod, and this will allow us to basically put most of these kinds of displays into a lot smaller area. And if you know me, then you know that I like to well, put as much functionality, as little space as possible, and this mod will do exactly that. So that is pretty much right up my alley. So first things first, let's put everything we have into the electric printer because that is what we need. I think this and maybe the solder and the steel as well. Yeah, there you are. Okay, so we should have everything we need there. So this mod has a couple of craftables or printables. These, the actual consoles themselves, and then what we can put on these consoles. So the displays, the inputs, and the labels. For now, I will only print out one of these. I just want to have a small showcase in this episode, and then we will, well, do better stuff with them later on. And I think I would like to use this console as a readout for the state of the batteries. Because, yeah, it's nice to have these indicators, but that doesn't really tell us what is happening inside. Also, can we please have modular? I suppose, yeah, you know what, let's just have 3 displays and then 3, labels. So, let me see. I don't think this one has the correct size of plate on the top. I would like to use a different one. I tested this out in between episodes. Let me just take a look. I think I will go for this one. This one did have the correct size of plate on the top. Anyways, that's enough. Okay, we have one extra, that's fine. And then can we please have the labels? Only 3 of these, please. So what I had in mind is that we will have one display for the incoming power, one for the outgoing power, and one for the second-to-second change. And there we go. Okay, we have 1 extra of each, that's fine. Also, I think in this episode I will take care of the automation of the greenhouse grow lights. So I will not use that housing, I want to have another one. So can you please give me a housing? Just the one. After this, an IC chip. Although I suppose we should have 2 of these, but we'll worry about that later. For now, let's have these displays. So I would like to have 3 of these. Here, here, and here. And 3 labels right on top of them, so you know we can read what they are supposed to be doing. So you can go there, there, and there. Okay, so the display is set up. Okay, the rest of them can go in the inventory. Here's the housing. Obviously, we need to have this housing to, you know, feed these displays the necessary information. So you can go here. I kind of wish that we had integrated housings on these consoles, but oh well. Please give me 2 more chips. Anyways, let's hook these up while the chips are printing. And there, you need to be going that way, and you need to be going that way. Okay, so now we have power and data hooked up. Good. Okay, so this one is almost finished. After this, only 1 more. And that's it. Okay, 1 more, please. Okay, next up, we need this guy, the laptop. But first, might as well label these because these act basically the same as these kinds of displays. And, you know, if they were labeled, they would be easier to find on these device pins. So, first things first. I would like to have this one. This one should be the, I suppose, the power in. So power in. And we also need to label the displays themselves. So this is going to be the power in display. Not display, but display. And there we go. This one will be the power out, and this one will be the second-to-second change. So I suppose charge. That's it. Okay, so this is the power out display, and this is the battery charge display. Yeah, sure, I think this will do quite nicely. Okay, so this one will go into this one eventually, but for now we are concerned with this code. So laptop in hand, chip goes inside, import, this one should be empty, it is, and we are going to use a code that we have used in the previous series, but we will change it quite a bit. So there we go, pause. Now, I do believe that we only need to read one of the batteries for this to work. We don't need to read both of them because I think technically speaking they are discharging and charging at the same rate, even though one of them will be displaying less power and more power. Also, the storm is over, good to know. So I think we only need to read one of these batteries, so that's fine. Although I suppose if we really had to, we can add them together and then divide by 2, but it's fine. I don't think we need to worry about that too much. Anyways, reload the code, overwrite, and pause. So we only really need to read one of the batteries, so that's fine. But we need to output into 3 different displays now. So this is going to be display in, and then we will have 2 more displays. One will be display out, and that's going to be D2, and we will have display, I don't know, charge, and that's going to be D3. So yeah, I think that will work. Next up, this will be the charge display, so might as well name it accordingly. So charge and charge, charge and charge. So if we write this one should already work. So confirm, export, and this one goes in here, initialize for a second so we can read these pins. And speaking of the pins, the first one will be the station battery. So it doesn't matter which one, this one should do. And then we will have display in, so we need to have a power in display, and then display out, so we need to have the power out display, and this one, and we need to have the display charge, so we need to have the battery, where is it, battery charge display. So if I turn this on, it should do exactly the same thing that we had in the last series. So if the incoming charge is positive, this one should be a blue positive number, and if it is negative, so we are discharging the batteries, it should be a negative red number. And it is working exactly. Good. Although, no, it is not static. Okay, it is working. Okay, so very good. It is working. Now, let's change this code up a little bit. So, now that the devices are set, we don't need to worry about turning this off. You can go in the laptop and we can start coding. So, I think this we need to set the mode on both the other 2 displays as well. In fact, we only need to do this once. We don't really need to do this every time we run through the code. So I think we can do this outside of the main body of the code. So this is going to be the display in, and this is going to be the display out. So the modes are set already. In fact, I think I would like to have the incoming power to have a blue text all the time. It will never really go into negative, so you know what, I will set the color of the display in right now. We don't need to do this every time we run through the code for this one. So display in color, and a big thank you to one of the commenters who said that we don't need to use the code of the colors. We can use a kind of a string designation for this, basically color dot blue. So this one should do exactly what we need. So if we confirm, and although, you know what, we can test this in a second. So we don't need to do this one can go away. And we are done with the calculations that we need for the second-to-second display. Basically, we are, power potential is the outgoing power, and power actual is the power being used, and the power potential is the incoming power from the power generators. So if we subtract from the power potential the power actual, that will give us the second-to-second change in change in charge in the batteries. So we subtract R1 from R0, override R2, and we round it so we have a nice round number, and we display that number on the display. So that works already. But I think I will change this section of the code because I think we can do this one a bit better. I don't want to have, different sections for each and every one of these displays. I will just do it in one go. So anyways, before we write this one, I think I will change the colors here. So for this one, we will use once again relative branching. So let me see. If the number is above 0, then it will be blue. If it is below 0, it will be red. So branch relative, and if it is greater than 0, and then what is the syntax for this? It is jump to line B if A is greater than 0. So if R2 is greater than 0, then we jump ahead, I don't know, a couple number of lines. I will change this one as we are coding. And then branch, you know what, we don't have to do another check, because if it is greater than 0, it will be less than 0, so it's fine. So we don't need to do another check. Here we can set the color to red. So we can copy this one, and this is going to be the charge display, and this is going to be red. But if this is not true, but this is true, then we want to jump over this line. So we can set once again, the same thing. In fact, just copy this whole thing, and this one should be blue. So if this is true, jump over this line, so 1 and 2, and set the color to blue. But if it is not true, then set the color to red. But we want to, in that case, we want to jump over the blue line. So here we want to jump relative 2, which means that here we need to jump 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. But if this is true, then do the change and then jump 1, 2. So that's it. Okay. So this one should work exactly the same as it did before. So export, and in you go. And it appears to be working still. Good. And the power in is now blue. Good. Next up, I don't want to change the incoming power label. That's fine. So edit and pause. In fact, I think we can set that one right here. So here we can set, you know what, no, let's just set it at the very end. It's fine. We will overwrite the displays at the very last thing. So here we will have display in and display out. And display in is the power actual, I believe. No, power potential. So this is going to be R1, and the power actual is the power being used. So that is the power coming out of the battery. So that is going to be register 0. So confirm, export, let's test it. And that looks correct to me. So we have 13 kilowatts of power coming into the batteries. Yeah, these guys are working quite hard. And we are using 1 point something kilowatts. Okay, now there is one more thing I want to change. I want to change the color of the outgoing power depending on how close we are to 5 kilowatts. So edit, pose. So this one should be okay. I will leave a bit of spacing in between the different sections so we can, read the code a bit easier. In fact, there and there. So let's try to set up that extra color change. What I had in mind is that if the outgoing power is below 3000, so 3 kilowatts, then the display will be green. If we are between 3000 and 4000, then it will be yellow. But if we are above 4000, so we are approaching the limit of the 5 kilowatts, then it will turn red. So it will, indicate that how close we are to the danger zone. Let's see. So we will need to have 3 of these color settings. So this is going to be the display out, and we will have 3 of these. So that's 3. One will be green, one will be yellow, and one will be red. Okay, so these are okay now. Next up, we need to make sure that we do this according to the checks. So let's see, branch relative less than. So if I believe we'll jump to C, right? Yeah, jump to line C if A is less than B. So if the outgoing power, so that is going to be R0. So if R0 is less than 3000, then jump ahead a certain number of lines. I will change this as we are coding. And then if that is not true, then, well, it definitely means that it will be above 3000, but you know what? Let's just make the checks before we do anything else. So let's just have this one, but this time it's not going to be less than, it's going to be greater than. So if it is greater than 3000, then jump ahead a couple of times. And then one more check if it is greater than 4000. But obviously if this is true, then this could still be true. So, all right, I think this one should be not here, but here instead. So from here, we will jump to here, right? Okay, I think that sounds about right. So first things first, if it is less than 3000, then jump ahead 2 lines. Then set the color green and then jump relative enough lines to basically skip over the yellow and the red settings. So that's it. We will change this one as well at the very end. So that's fine. And then if the 3000 is true, then jump ahead 1, 2, 3 lines. And then we will check if it is above 4000. But first, if this is not true, then set the yellow color and then jump ahead a certain number of lines once again, so we can skip over the red. But if this comes back true, then jump ahead 1, 2, 3 lines there. And from here, we don't need to jump ahead. We can continue with the actual overwriting of the values. So that's fine. And then these. So if this is true, then jump ahead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. That's fine. And if this is true, then jump ahead 2 lines. And I think that will do. I can only cross my fingers that I made this one understandable. This is this little R means that we are doing a relative branching. So relative to this position. And we are basically jumping ahead this number of lines from this one, if this is actually true. So confirm, and let's see if this one is working as intended. So export, in you go. And right now, obviously we are below 3000, so far it is working as intended. Let me see if I can increase the load on the network a little bit. All of you turn on. Not quite. What if I start charging some batteries, because battery charging is usually, well, quite heavy on the network. Let me see. You open. Yeah, this one should charge a little bit. Good. And maybe the mining tool. Let's take a look. Oh, there we go. We are above 3000, so that one is working. Can I make it go above 4000? You turn off for a second. Maybe we can charge, I don't know, the tablet maybe. There. Are you going to go above 4000? Not quite. Okay, so anything else I can do to go above 4000? Maybe you turn on. You are already on. We are. I suppose at night we will start making some water, so that will increase the power consumption quite a bit. And that shouldn't be too long now. But as far as I can tell, it should work exactly as intended, I think. I think so. Anyways, let's just turn these on and start charging the batteries. Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. And we are still not quite at the point where, you know, we are in danger of burning out these cables. But before we do anything else, I want to make sure that this is actually displaying the correct number. So let's take out the tablet and let's see, change over to the network analyzer and let's just make sure. So we are looking at the required and the actual, that one should be the same. And so far it appears to be reading correctly. Okay, so now we are no longer charging with the solar panels. So the charge change is negative and it is red, so that is correct. Can we please have some change in the outgoing power so I can actually test this one? Can we please start making some water? Any second now. Basically, as soon as... Oh, yeah. Those temperatures are quite high. We will only start making some water at 140 degrees Celsius. At that point, okay, 1.7 to 1.13. Okay, yeah, it is reading correctly. Yeah, the power out is correct. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that one. And we will start making some water in a second, and that will surely increase the power consumption quite a bit. So maybe we can read the maybe the red number if we get close to 4 kilowatts. And you know what? Yes, I know I should have done this a very long time ago, but you know what? Let's do it now. Let's install a fuse on the power network, just a one. And there we go. I think I will put it here. Here should be relatively safe. Yeah, basically, if we go above 5 kilowatts, we have different kinds of fuses. We have 1 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt, 50 and 100. Let's go with the 5 kilowatt because this is the basically the threshold on these cables. There, and if we overload these cables, this is where the cables will burn out. So if we overload the cables, it's going to be a lot easier to find the burnt out section. Anyways, are we... Yeah, we should be making water now. Oh, it is consuming a lot less than I anticipated. Let me just check. Let me see. 5 to 700 kilowatts on the water generator. Not as much as I anticipated. Maybe if you turn on the landing pad.
Oxygen low.
Also, yes, I think we have some lung damage. that is why we get the oxygen low warning every time we put on the spacesuit. So let's take a look now. The landing pad is on. I will not turn on the voltage filtering, and still no. Okay, you know what? I will trust that the display is working correctly. And there we go. So this is the modular console mod. It is super nice. Basically, this will allow us to put a lot more functionality in a lot smaller space. And we don't have to use this one only for these kinds of readouts. We can use it for inputs and that kind of stuff as well. So we can have switches and buttons and things like that. It is extremely versatile. So anyways, next up, I would like to make sure that we are actually automating the grow lights in here, because I did check, and yes, in the summer months, the black hole will be behind this mountain and the greenhouse will not receive any sunlight. So yeah, unfortunately, we have to automate the grow lights. So first is first, give me, I suppose, 2 grow lights should be able to cover everything. Yes, I did test it and we can place them, I think, here and here. It should cover everything. At least I think so. So anyways, 2 should do it. And yeah, we don't need to worry too much about cabling, but we will also need at least 1 daylight sensor as well. So that's 1 grow light, and then we will need a sensor there. And we are still not using enough power to trigger the red color. I know that the yellow one works, but not sure about the red one. Okay then, so there are the grow lights and 1 sensor, please. So as I said, the grow lights should do exactly what we need if we put them here and here, I think so. And then the sensor will need to go outside, obviously, and I will put it yeah, I think maybe over there, so we can do the cabling. Yeah. Okay, let me quickly install this and then we'll do the cabling from the inside. So theoretically, here should do the trick. Right, basically what I had in mind is that we only want to turn on the grow lights if the black hole is, technically speaking, above the horizon, but we don't have actual sunlight hitting the greenhouse. So we will need to have 2 checks whether or not the black hole is above the horizon. So I believe that is the solar angle, if it is between 270 and 90, and whether or not we have sunlight hitting the sensor, and I believe that is the grid sunlight, and I believe that is going to be the activate function on the sensor. Anyways, let me quickly cable this up. Obviously, we need to have data on all of these. And we don't have enough cabling. Okay, we need to print that a bit more. Thankfully, we did go out on a mining trip, so please give me some cables. There. And you know what? I think if we install maybe 6 more wind turbines, then I don't think we need to worry about power for the summer months. I think it's going to be okay. So even if the solar panels are in shadow, 6 more wind turbines should be able to keep this place going. Anyways, that should be enough. 1 more, and that's it. No half grams. Okay, you know what? Let's just turn these off. Simply no reason. Although, yeah, that spray can reminded me that maybe we should change the color on this, because this bright white is, I don't think, befitting of this console. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's just take out the... where is the gray spray can? There you are. Yes, this will put pollutants into the base, but obviously I don't want to pick up all of this and reposition them. Let's just make peace with a bit of pollutants in the base. There we go. Yeah, this one looks better now. And it also matches these gray displays and labels. Right, so you can go back on the shelf. There. And what is the pollutant damage in the base? It is... switch over to the analyzer, and yeah, millimoles. Don't need to worry about that too much. That's fine. Okay then, so this guy. Let's finish wiring things up, and cable cutter there and there. Okay, so that one I will name this one because this one will be very specific for this purpose. So you are going to be the greenhouse daylight sensor. We don't need to name these guys because they will be used from a hash. That's fine. And that's it. Okay, so laptop in hand. Also, we can strip off now because we are okay. So this one goes in the airlock. Good. And let's see if I can make this code work real quick. So this one goes in here. Import empty. Good. And let's see if I can do it. Okay, now I do believe that the sensor, if it gets hit by sunlight, then it will set the activate function to 1. If there is no sunlight hitting it, it will be 0. So I believe the activate is the readout for the direct sunlight. If it isn't, then I suppose we can just read the solar potential or whatever it is. Let me see, daylight sensor. So we can either read the activate, which I believe is whether or not it is actually in sunlight. If this is not correct, then I suppose we can just read the solar irradiance, and if it is above 0, then we can do that way as well. Anyways, so that one should be self-explanatory. Basically, if it is 0, then there is no sunlight, and that is exactly what we need. So if it is equal 0, then overwrite it as 1. So there we go. And then we need to check if the solar angle is between 90 and 270. So if it is, well, basically, how it works is that we have 0 right on top, and then 90, 180, 270, right? On the circular dial of the angles. So the sun or the black hole will come up at 90 and set at 270, and we want to read it in this section. So if it is less than 90, so it is in this quadrant, then it should be true. And if it is greater than 270, so it is in this quadrant, then it should also be true. So set R2 to 1 if R1 is less than 90, and set R3 to be true if R1 is greater than 270. So basically, if the black hole is anywhere in the upper quadrant. So basically, if it is above the horizon, and set R4 to be 1 if either R2 or R3 are 1. So if any of these are satisfied, then set R4 to be 1, and if both R4 and R0 are 1, so both of them are true, then set the on-off register to be 1 and use that to change the grow lights. So if we do this right now, the grow lights should be off because the black hole is below the horizon, so it is greater than 90 and less than 270. So let's see. Export also. Why is the... okay. Don't do displays. There we go. That looks better now. So export, in you go. And before we do anything else, we need to set device 0 to be the daylight sensor. So we need the... No, not that daylight sensor. We want to have the greenhouse daylight sensor. There we go. So these guys should be off now. Line at error at line 15. Let me take a look. Edit, pause. So 15, set batch. Okay. As usual, confirm. You export and go back, and the light should turn off. Exactly. Good. Okay, so what we need to do now is wait for black hole rise, and as soon as the angle, let me see, there you are, as soon as the angle goes below 90, then the black hole will still be behind the mountain, so this one should not receive sunlight, and both of them should be satisfied, and the grow lights should turn on. So there we go, 90 and 89, the grow lights turn on. Exactly, very good. Okay, so now the question is the grid sunlight is actually using the activate function to give us the value. So as soon as the black hole hits the daylight sensor, basically, which means that we have sunlight in the greenhouse, then the grow lights should turn off. Let's see if that works. Yeah, as you can see, we are cresting right over there. Remember when the black hole was cresting there? Those were the days. So yeah, summer is very much on us. In fact, I suppose we can call this one summer at this point. Day 67, I believe the peak of summer is going to be day 80. So yeah, anyways, the black hole should go over the peak of that any second now, and that means that the grow lights should turn off. So let's take a look, and any second now. Exactly what I wanted to see. Good. Okay, so this code is working. Good. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to give us the correct timing, because we need to have a set number of minutes and in daylight and set number of minutes in darkness for the plants to grow, optimally. But I think so far it looks promising. Okay, so yeah, I think the greenhouse is automated. Now the question is, are these positioned correctly? We might need to move them a little bit, I don't know. I guess we'll check at night, because, well, at night these guys, although, you know what, no, we don't have to. We just need to, yeah, we can check at night, because we can turn off. Wait, never mind. Are you going to go behind the mountain? No. It will go over the mountain, so it will be in sunlight. Okay, I suppose at night we can turn this housing off, turn these on, and we can check on the plants because they will display whether or not they have light on them or not. So yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, so far so good on the green light automation. And if we have to, we can expand this way, put down 2 more grow lights, and we can use this network just fine. It's okay. And yeah, I really love, not just like I love this mod. I cannot recommend it enough. In fact, I think I might want to set up a bit of automation, well, okay, not automation, but manual controls for the furnace. Basically, from a central console, we can have some buttons and levers and stuff like that, and we can control when we want to put in stuff into the furnace, when we want to vent out. We can read the pressure, the contents, and stuff like that. That would be kind of nice. Anyways, we still have a couple of minutes on the recording, so tell you what, can you please give me some iron, please? We did go out for a small mining trip at the start, so I think we can run a little bit longer. The recording is at 55 minutes right now, so maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 more minutes should be okay. Anyways, give me some gratings. So, floor gratings, just print out a bunch. If we overprint, I suppose we can just put them on the first level as well, just to keep the theme of the, you know, aesthetics of the base. Anyways, are you about to? No, not yet. Yeah, also, I think in the next episode I will install 3 or 6 more wind turbines just to be extra sure that we can actually weather the summer months. Obviously, we get a lot of power from the solar panels right now, but well, in the summer months, the black hole will not be visible. Maybe a little bit in the evening, but that's it. So we definitely need to have some extra power generation. Yes, I believe I did say that I might want to use Stirling engines or something like that, but you know, wind turbines are way too convenient. So I think I will use those for now. Maybe we will use Stirling engines in the new base. Anyways, I don't think we need any of these for what I have planned. Yeah, let's just keep the laptop, is fine. And for now, let's just put these guys here. I want to use these later, obviously. Anyways, let's just have 3 stacks. I think that might be enough. Or, oh, you know what, no, let's just go for 4 stacks, just to be extra safe. I think we should be able to finish the flooring in the base with 4 stacks. If not, then we just need to print even more. Anyways, how are we on iron? Oh yeah, we have plenty of iron. Okay, so that's 8, 9, and 1 more, please. And there we go. Okay, you can turn off. By the way, how are we on the other resources? So, gold, 250, good. Steel is running a bit low, so we might want to make a batch of that. Electrum as well, definitely. And the rest are okay. Right, let me quickly cook this potato, drink, eat, and we can go, I think. So yeah, basically what I had in mind for this furnace is maybe we can set up a small console here and basically operate it from there, because you know, we have the console here, we can input right here, and well, we have to come to this side to pick stuff up, but that's fine. Yes, I know we can use chutes, but it's fine. So we will have a big console here with plenty of readouts, plenty of buttons and levers and stuff like that to operate the furnace from there. I think that would be kind of nice. Anyways, so I can only hope that this is going to be enough to actually floor the base. And yes, very nice. Exactly what I wanted to see. Plenty of power in this battery, so we can use the elevator. Yes, I know I could use the jetpack to get inside because we still don't have glass on that central window on the first level. But you know what? We did build this elevator, so might as well use it. And there we go. Also, yes, I did decide that this pipe is not just going to be completely cosmetic. I think I will use this to distribute oxygen and basically the atmosphere in the base. We will have some vents, yeah, on the floors, I think, and stuff like that. I think, you know, might as well use it since it's in the base. So anyways, let's quickly take care of this. And to nobody's surprise, it was not enough. So you know what? Now we are close enough that we can count it. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Theoretically, 19 more gratings should do it. And you know what? We have the time, so might as well go for it. So, there. Don't fall too quickly. I will print out 2 more stacks, just to be on the safe side. Place them down, and I think we can call the episode there. Right, and then I think in between episodes I will try to make sure that we count the number of walls that we need. And then, oh, by the way, alright, this guy is still here. Do we want to do anything with you? So I decided that I don't want to do the refueling because that is a little bit too much work for only 120 payout, so that's not a lot. We could print out some of these canisters, so that's okay. But that's it. Okay, I will print out those canisters as well. In fact, I think they are a singular item. They cannot be stacked, I believe. Let me see. We also have this guy. This one has 25 milliliters of water in it. Can I sell it like this? I will try. But for now, first let's print out the gratings. So let's print out 2 stacks real quick. Okay, so that's 2 stacks of these gratings. Can you please give me the iron? And I believe that is the only thing we need for the canisters, right? So let me see. This one, a liquid canister. Yes, only iron. Ooh, but 5 grams of iron. That's a bit more than I anticipated, but you know what? It's fine. And yeah, we cannot stack them, unfortunately. So 2 more. We have enough room for 2 more. So that's 1 and that's 2. In fact, if I put down the laptop and the heavy cables can go in here instead. There, I will keep the mining backpack. So these 2, and we can make 2 more. Here. And if we cannot sell that canister with the 25 milliliters of water, I will just empty it out. I will not lose any sleep over wasting 25 milliliters of water. Ooh, and speaking of, how is the water these days? It is 11.5 liters, and yeah, the temperature I think is acceptable. 30 degrees Celsius. So 11.6, and we are inputting it from time to time. Are we going to go for 11.7 maybe? No, but it's fine. And yeah, that extra nitrogen gas in the pipes is actually kind of nice. Okay, I think this is the best we can do with what we have on us. There we go. And now we can cycle. Yeah, I think it's time to make a chemistry station and make a pill. I always want to have one pill on us as an emergency. So if I want to use this now, we want to make another one. Anyways, so we can sell these. That's fine. Okay, close. Can I sell this one? So sell, and no, we can only sell one of them. Okay, then close, and I will just empty this out. So open, and that's it. We still cannot sell this. Is it full of steam, maybe? Let me guess. I bet you're full of steam. Yes, you are. Okay, then. Fine, I will keep it for now. I don't want to mess around with setting up the emptying for this. So you just sell these. That's 50 more credits for us. And you know what? Let's just celebrate by buying some more water. You know what? Just to be on the safe side, I don't know how much extra pressure that 2 liters of liquid nitrogen will give us in the water pipes. So I will buy 2 more liters of these. There. And how much can we buy of this? Ooh, nice. 34 more liters. And you know what? I know that we have enough water in the base, but I want to feel a bit more safe, so let's just go for it. There. And let's take a look at the pipes. So the liquid nitrogen will cool it down, but I only want to have the liquid nitrogen to act as a deterrent for condensation for the water. Oh, sorry, evaporation for the water. So I don't want to have any steam in these pipes. But liquid nitrogen is, the gas nitrogen is just a filler gas, nothing else. Okay, how is this one? It is almost finished. By the way, what is the power consumption of this guy once it has nothing to vent out? So let's just finish emptying out the landing pad. Okay, it is now empty. So network analyzer, the landing pad is only using 10 watts. So I don't think these guys are using a lot of power if they have nothing to pump. Let me see, if I turn these guys on, this one and this one, that will give us still only 10 watts. Wow. Interesting. So these are not consuming any power if they have nothing to do. Interesting. Anyways, these don't need to run, it's fine. In fact, we should empty this one out, right? Previous, yeah, empty this one out, that's fine. Yeah, I think at this point, we are not really making a lot of money with these. This will give us 70 something of, yeah, thereabouts of money. Yeah, I think I will sell 11 more of these canisters and that's going to be it. Yeah, after this one, this guy can go. He has a lot of water, but it's fine. Okay, so I think you should be empty by now. Bad network. Yes, you can turn off now. Right. So, the main attraction of this episode was the modular console display, and I can only say it again, I love this guy. Yeah, and it is working exactly as I wanted to. Good. Okay, so for now, I think we can say goodbye. Oh, no, wait, never mind. Let's put down these gratings before we say goodbye. Yeah, we have one extra, so I counted correctly. Very good. So this is the flooring in the base is now complete. Right, I think I will just put this one, I don't know, in the lowest level right in front of the elevator, I guess. But as I said, the flooring in the base is finished. Next up, we need to actually seal the base, and then we can start first setting up the power. I think right over there. In the summer months, we will have plenty of light hitting the solar panels. We will have some wind generators as well, and I think we will set up a Stirling engine just in case. So yeah, I think we can call this one good enough now. Let's just reset the elevator and the airlock, and I think we can say goodbye. All that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you'd like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.